Hey everyone, it's Jen, the Tree Nymph Designs Oracle, and I just wanted to come on here today and talk about something kind of cool, pretty interesting, and I feel like the time period that we are in now, the era that we're in now, it's necessary. It's necessary to bring it up, and maybe this will help to assist you. I hope so. That's always my intention. Even if it's kind of weird, obscure, it's always to, help at least one person. And so, yeah, I usually don't have notes with me, but I feel like with this, I'll kind of go astray and just start rambling on and on. But basically, I wanted to talk today about the children of chaos. I feel like this is really important for where we're at. Um, as I said in a previous video, we are actually in the year 2012, and that year was, foretold and kind of hyped up as something that it was going to be, and now we're actually in it. So, yeah, it's definitely important to share. So, here we go. I want to bring this to you so you can check in with yourself. I feel like we need community more than ever. We need to be with our people more than ever. It's beyond race, it's beyond gender, it's beyond sexual identity, it's beyond religion. Like those things, they need to just end. It's dividing, and it's in the grand scheme of things, it's literally just a costume that you're wearing. It's literally how your vehicle is designed. That's it. The tendencies that your vehicle has. It's not your soul. So, hopping right in, how to know that you are a child of chaos. And then I will kind of define, how one has come to be a child of chaos, and also there's a lot of energy behind the word chaos, that it's negative, it's bad, it's evil. It's not. I'm a child of chaos, so here we go. One of the number one, I guess we'll say, flags, or one of the number one signs or experiences is that you went through a really rough childhood. And this kind of cross links into other labels. I don't even have to say them, but as I talk about these things, it'll be like, oh, yeah, I've heard, this label, or yeah, I felt that I was that label. They all cross hatch together. So, yeah, a really chaotic, abusive childhood, or, as you grew up, you experienced a lot of abuse. Um, it's because of our nature. Our nature affects people deeply. And if you were in a biological family, it can be physical abuse, it can be emotional, sexual, mental, spiritual, and it's not that your parents were trying. They weren't trying. They weren't. Or the people that you grew up with, they weren't trying. That's the thing. They were so wrapped up in their reality, in their world, they couldn't try. They couldn't try. Okay, they could not. Um, but yeah, you know, because of how you affect people just by your being, just by your very essence, by your very energy, it shakes people. You could literally be sitting and breathing, and for some people, they have a very strong negative reaction to you. For other people, they think you're the greatest thing ever. It just depends on who is around you. But the family of origin that you grew up in, they really couldn't handle you. You were too much. You would trigger them, and so they would explode on you. They would freak out on you. And yeah, it doesn't have to be parents. That was my experience. Parent, person that gave birth, um, birth people, however you want to call it. I was too much. I would ask a lot of questions. I would point things out. I didn't have a filter. And that's like another sign. You don't have a filter. You had to either learn to have one or you just don't have one, and it really upsets people. The next thing is you struggle to fit in. May it have been in your family of origin, which more than likely, if you have the first thing going on and the first few things going on, that was another one. It could be that you struggled to fit into society, you struggled to fit into school, you struggled to fit in even when you were working. And that's because you have a different energy. You see things in a different light. You view things in a way that mainstream people, they really don't. The next one is, yeah, you've never connected, with mainstream society and its ideas, and you might have tried, because I tried to fit in so hard, and that's usually a common thing. You try to fit in, and finally you're like, you know what, fuck it. Like, I don't fit in, I know I don't, and you accept that. Like, that's a big difference. It's not where there's a struggle inside. Once you've gotten to that point, you're just like, yeah, I don't fit into mainstream, and it's okay. And you tend to draw others around you that they're like, I don't fit in either. Cool. Well, we don't fit in. The next thing is you are deep into alternative spirituality. May it be you're in the darker end of the spiritual spectrum, or you're in the lighter end, or you're somewhere in the middle. I'm more in the middle, where I like the dark and I like the light, and they both work for me. If you think of like three pillars, there's the left hand, there's the right hand, and then there's the middle pillar, and that's where I reside. And you might be as well, or you're on either spectrum, but you don't have that mainstream ideal of what spirituality is. It's just, you know, it's beyond a concept. It's beyond what we're taught. It's beyond what we're told is, this is how it has to be. It's, beyond those things. The next is you are considered too much, too weird, too dramatic, too emotional, or you've been considered not enough, not obedient enough, not submissive enough, not respectful enough, meaning you do whatever anyone tells you, no matter if it goes against your internal, map that you have, and, against your internal GPS, just that's what is considered, you're not respectful enough. You're not going along lock and step with what, mainstream society tells you. Another one is you tend to have a darker sense of humor, and when things are dark, when things are, really challenging, you rise to the occasion through humor. Humor is what gets you through, and that has been huge in my life. If I didn't have humor, if I didn't have the sense of humor that I have, I would have been broken, like beyond repair, decades ago. My humor has kept me going, and it's not really everyone's taste. That's the other hallmark. Yeah, not everyone can appreciate it, but those that do, they feel you and they really appreciate what you've got going on. The next thing is you have strong inner knowings about things. Like, you just know when something doesn't feel right. You just know when something's going to happen. We can call it precognition. There's a whole deal with that, but yeah, you just know when things are right for you, when things are wrong for you, I shouldn't be going there, doesn't feel right. What works for you, and you follow that unapologetically. You just do what you have to do that works for you. The next is you don't judge how others express themselves. May it be, their spiritual expression, their physical expression, their gender expression. their sexuality, expression, whatever expression, you do not judge them because you have been through so much in your life that you know you don't have any room to, be judging. And there's just no room to do it. And you don't even have that want, you don't even have that desire. But if you are judged, you will judge harshly. People's motives, you will judge the way that they're acting, the way that they're behaving, but you don't start things. That brings us to the next thing. You don't start things with people unless they start with you. You like to keep in your corner, you like to just do you. You're not really a negative person, although you're portrayed as such, but you're not a negative person. You just like to keep to yourself, and that's kind of your flow. But when somebody starts something with you, you will finish it, just point blank. This one is pretty huge as well. You can connect and interact with absolutely anybody. It doesn't matter what spectrum of life, that they are in, as long as they're real with you. The moment somebody tries that, bullshit, fake, phony, just not being real, you smell it, you sense it, you know it. And if you don't call it out, because sometimes it's not appropriate to, meaning like you could get fired from a job, lose housing, whatever it might be, or it's like, it's not even worth it. They're going to do them. But you keep it in your mind and you know what, I'm not going to be around that person anymore. Or if I have to be, I'm going to keep my guard up and you're not getting into my inner realm. Like, it's just not going to happen. And then, the last one, I mean, there's more, but I don't want to, put it all out there because I don't want to try to define things. It's more like signs, hints of who you might be, who might be part of your family. Um, this will be the last one. You don't care about things. Like, materialism doesn't drive you. You like having nice things. You like living comfortably. You like, being pretty. You like being attractive. You like to, do things like that. But it's not what drives you. It's connection with those who get you. That's what drives you. It's connection with those that you love. It's, pursuing things that you're passionate about, etc., etc. It's not about things. Money isn't your motivator. It's just not. It's nice to have, but the whole mainstream, you've got to, have this name brand, that name brand. It's whatever. Doesn't matter. You're more into living in a more, I guess we'll call it alternative way that mainstream people, they are like, okay, it's kind of weird, but whatever. So, yeah, I just wanted to put those signs out. I'm gonna do another video because I have completely like ran over time. I don't even know if this is gonna upload properly, but it's gonna be talking about how you came to be a child of chaos and what it like means for you during this time period and how you can harness it and really best live the way that you are energetically, geared towards living. So I will do part 2 and I'll see you then. Bye.